Are we recording here?
Yeah, we're recording now. Well, let's welcome to another episode of Fine by Me.
Fine by Mizzle.
Fine.
We're just
by
getting
me.
settled in. We just come in like daggum hot off the press.
Yeah, boys, this is like a, we just sat down and started rolling pretty much.
Yeah,
other than
that's
setting
hard.
up that stupid camera.
That's the way I like it.
Hot off the press. My stepdad, when I was a young man, worked at the Franklin Favorite
Yeah,
and was in charge of printing the newspaper.
yeah.
And he got his hand caught in the big roller that like flattens the paper out, and it took this huge chunk of his palm, just the skin. Didn't take his hand in with him or nothing. Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Dude,
he got lucky then, I guess.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's crazy. Like my grandpa wasn't as lucky. Y'all familiar with A.O. Smith GE?
Yeah.
Factory. So that's
My
where
water
most of my
heater's A.O.
family-
Smith.
What?
My water heater's A.O.
Yeah.
Smith.
Well, I think we made air conditioner and shit.
Oh, I got you.
I think. But either way, my grandpa was a maintenance man, just like my dad was or is, and he had to climb into a machine. Now, think this is back in like the 70s, maybe early 80s.
Yeah.
So obviously safety wasn't as
Up
big
to
of a
par. Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't do safety.
He climbed
back
into a
then.
machine and it smashed him. Like he broke his back. Like that's how much it smashed him.
Jesus.
He got all kind of money from workers' comp. Well, early 80s, all kind of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a
40 grand.
Yeah, it was probably like
He's
close
like,
to that.
I'm gonna buy 1,000 acres in Allen County.
Yeah, back then
Yeah,
you could have.
1,000 acres,
Yeah.
and he only got $1,000,
Yeah,
a dollar an
$400.
acre.
And funny
$400
enough, and it's also a testament to the type of person he was, or the type of the generation he came from, because he did whatever he didn't want back to work. Like eventually,
Yeah.
most people these days would have just like, my back's broke, I'm on disability for the rest of the time.
I mean, that's what I did with my leg. I mean,
Yeah, what do you want him to go do? Flip burgers?
yeah, I ain't doing that
My
shit.
grandpa broke his back and went back to work. That's all I'm saying.
He sent me Josh sent me a job application for the electric plant board hiring. Like, are you trying to tell me to
You was talking
Shut
about you
down my
was wanting
business?
insurance and all sorts of shit. I mean, you was talking about joining the National Guard 3 months ago.
Oh, true.
So, I mean,
True.
dude, I mean, what do you want me to do? I'm trying to look out for
The
you.
reason I didn't is because I've got so many bills and crap.
This dude done got down, said, I'm going to join the fucking army. I was like, well, you ain't got to do that. You're just making me a nervous wreck. Wes come in and said,
Full
move
of
your
energy.
feet, lose your seat.
Yeah.
We're swapping around, doing a little hot seat today.
Jeez Louise. So what else is new? You just got back from another trip.
Yeah, it was fun.
God,
Went
this guy
to,
goes on more vacations than the Kardashians.
paid for. This one was paid for by the church. I was
Oh.
a chaperone
Oh, okay.
on
Well,
a church trip.
Is there kids there or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
like teenagers, I guess, like
Yeah.
youth group stuff.
Yeah, we went to this jump trampoline park.
Yeah.
And
Those are
played-
fun.
Yeah, it was like a Ninja
How would
Warrior
you know?
course.
I've been to some before I lost my leg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was only 5 years ago.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, I never saw one of those jump parks.
My
until
son's almost
5 years
13
ago.
years old. I mean, 8 years we went to jump zones and stuff. You know?
Boy.
I didn't know that those existed until like 5 years ago.
My
so-
grip strength, I can't monkey bar anymore.
Oh, I'm sure
I
I
can't do
couldn't
monkey
either.
bars.
His shoulders are probably, that's probably why.
I mean, my
all
grip
of it-
strength.
But all of it is connected, is what I'm saying. You start hanging ligaments and tendons and
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, it's hard to just
The
hang.
hand
Have you
bone's
seen those
connected
where
to
they-
the shoulder
uh,
bone. The shoulder bone connected
It's
to
all
your
tied together.
neck
I mean,
bone.
if you think if you move your fingers, there's muscles up here that move.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, I don't know what it's called, but whenever they just have like the thing set up for like the bar, and you're not expected to do pull-ups, you're just supposed to hang as long
Hang.
as you can,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's difficult.
Oh, I
It
could
is
do-
difficult.
My upper body strength has got better ever since I've lost the leg, so I
I'm
could
sure.
probably do that for a minute.
I was gonna say you probably crawl around here on all threes.
Dude, I'm actually. I tell y'all, like I said, I tell everybody, if I ever do get into a fight, the legs coming off, we're going to the ground because I'm not fighting you standing up.
I mean, I would definitely take it off and just start swinging it at them.
dude, could you imagine? Like they just like they wouldn't know what to do. It'd
You
catch
ever
them
just
off guard.
You ever just flip upside down and just walk on your hands?
I
think
can
it's faster.
in a swimming pool. I can't do it in the house. I don't
Can't in a
do
swimming pool.
I don't do too much dangerous stuff by myself. You know what I mean? If I was to fall, I already fell through a window a couple years ago. Remember?
Oh yeah.
That was on my 2 feet.
That's where Fine by Me started.
That is. That is.
True.
That was a remodel show.
Yeah, my buddy Sam Crocker, I was telling him about coming to do the podcast, and he's like, "What's this?" And I was, it's Fine by Me, and he said, "Well, what are y'all repairing?" He thought this was since we made that YouTube video about the window
That's
repair.
a good fan, though. He remembered.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
He thought that this whole thing was about.
You said, no. We're
Home
30
remodeling.
episodes in talking bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've wasted 30 hours of our lives so far.
Do y'all have AT&T service?
I do, yeah.
I got Mint.
Mint
Mobile,
I got
baby.
Straight Talk. So you get your $5.
Yeah, they didn't tell me anything about $5.
They put it on the news. It
I
was
was
like
they sent me a text and said sorry, and that was all I got.
what's going to happen when it happens to our debit cards and credit cards?
Oh, that's the apocalypse.
That's next.
Yeah.
Do you think it was hackers? Or do you think it was a solar flare?
China.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. They said the solar flare thing came out like after they had already been down for hours.
I
I'm
just saw
what?
conflicting news stories, so you
Supposedly
never know.
they can see when those flares are happening,
Yeah.
and like forecast them like weather. So they probably already knew them flares were coming.
Yeah.
They could have, if they knew it was going to be like that, they could have been like, "Hey, we're probably going to lose, service today because
Now, I
of
know
these
like
solar flares."
it'll affect like transformers and stuff like
Yeah.
on power poles. Like we've had to change them out before because of solar storms. Like and
I'd
it
say
can-
it's probably similar to like an EMP hit.
that's what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all.
Is that what it is?
It's the same effect.
To be honest.
It's the same
'Cause
effect.
if you have one stronger, like you actually have a weaponized EMP, like it just actually shuts things down.
Yeah, it just kills the whole substation.
It kills everything.
Yeah, it kills the whole substation out. Then you got without power and without all that other shit. I think
we
I read
wouldn't last
some.
long without it.
No, I think I read somewhere it's like 70 or 80 trillion dollars worth of like money out there. Only 2 million of it's actual currency. The rest of it's like floating around on credit cards and debit cards
Oh,
and like
yeah,
in
yeah.
banks or whatever. So that's like $70 trillion that's going to be unaccounted for one day if that ever happens on like a huge scale.
I wouldn't mind that. I'd like to cancel some debt.
I saw today there's Bowling Green Hot Rods is going to a cashless stadium this year.
Really?
They're not doing any cash at all, debit or credit card for everything.
I wish I could complain about that, but I'm the world's worst at carrying cash. So
I just want to borrow. Just take you something to trade. Like, hey, I miss
want a
those
hot
days.
dog and a large Coke and a large popcorn. They're like, well, we're going to need your other leg.
Yep, that's right. You can hold on to it for a little while.
Yeah, we're going to come collect whenever we
Come
need
collect.
it.
Here's a pound of barley.
Yeah, that's right.
Here's a bunch of
Just
green
take you
peas.
some canned goods or something and trade for it.
Yeah, true. I was just making a joke, really, about how expensive things are at Walmart.
It is. Everything's expensive. But then I was reading into it, like there's only like 2 or 3 stadiums left, like in professional sports in baseball that are
Okay.
that do accept cash. So it's not anything really new for like I guess like Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I don't
I'm just
know.
surprised people haven't fussed more about that. People are like, oh my god, they're going.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't been to an MLB stadium in a while.
What people
but-
don't understand is when all that collapses, cash ain't worth nothing either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter if you're a cashless society or not.
Truthfully, yeah, no, and even like with people hoarding gold and whatnot, like if somebody like offers me a pound of gold for something I've got, I'm gonna be like, what am I gonna do with this?
Yeah.
I can't do shit with
You
this
need to
pound
have
of gold.
liquor. They say liquor is good to have.
Liquor,
like just
cigarettes.
anything people have an addiction
Yeah,
to. Antibiotics,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Food. People are going to want food more than anything else.
I don't know. I was gonna say I was thinking about this at some point. Like whenever I'm running through apocalypse things, is whenever everybody runs for all the food, I'm gonna be the guy that runs for the pharmacy and like empties that bitch out.
That's what I
And
do,
just
man.
be, just be the like apocalypse
I
pharmacist guy.
feel every prescription I get like every month.
West.
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
I've
Ear
got, like-
hurts. Take this antibiotic.
Yeah, I've got like 5 different kinds of antibiotics, full courses of them and stuff. Allergy medicine. I've got anything but pain medicine and sleep medicine because I can't get that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I would say my mom's ear, nose, and throat nurse, not a doctor. And she gets all kinds of like sinus.
it's good to
medicine
keep up
and
that shit, man.
I've got a whole box of Nasacort.
It's
Whole
good.
box.
Flonase
There's
is
gotta
good
be
too.
40 things of Nasacort in this box. I've
Like the
got.
spray?
Yeah.
Damn, they're like $30 a pop at Walgreens.
I've got a shit ton of them
Yeah,
things.
you just trade Nasacort at the damn
Yeah.
Hot Rod Stadium. Like, hey, I got a couple Nasacorts. Give me a couple of them tall boys and a chicken strip basket. Plenty more where that came from.
yeah, we got boxes.
I brought 4 Nasacorts with me. Y'all go there and help yourself. Man, that is crazy though. Like everybody was freaking out. Remember, people used to always say, I could live a month in a cabin in the middle of nowhere for $1 million. They couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either, man. It's a lot more difficult than they believe.
I don't guess people
think.
read books or nothing anymore. People don't put puzzles together or read books or nothing like that.
How do you mean? What are
Like
you saying
they
about
had
that?
nothing else to do. It was like without their phone working or something, they can't do nothing else. Like
Oh, okay.
you know, like to pass the time or to occupy
True.
themselves. You know,
I
what
don't know. I
mean?
mean, for $1 million, I could probably stare at a wall for a month.
Yeah, dude.
NASA
I do it
NASA's
now for
doing
About
free.
anything
I
for
do it now
$1
for
million.
free.
NASA's doing a 1-year study about the effects of living on Mars, and they
Oh.
want 4 volunteers to live in a 1,700 square foot.
They would simulate like a
yeah,
station.
simulator. Yeah,
That's
for
cool, bro.
for 12 months, 4 strangers.
What's it pay?
I don't know.
I'm sure it's a lot.
Yeah. They paid some guy $90,000 to lay on his back for 3 months.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing something
Yeah.
like that.
Well, there was that guy that
Excuse me.
What were we just talking about?
NASA.
We may have mentioned this on here. I don't know if we did or not, but the guy that I don't remember what he was down there for, if it was just like a test thing, like what y'all are talking about. But he went like very far deep into the ocean and lived there for like 3 months, and
I
then
think
like
I've
after
seen that.
doctors like looked at him, they were like, all of his levels are perfect. It's almost like he de-aged himself by 3 years.
Going down there and
Yeah.
like with the, I guess the
The pressure is what they're saying is that helps for whatever.
Yeah, because I mean, we're out like pretty much in the atmosphere, and we don't think about it. But like you know, Nick's having sinus trouble today, and we got all this crazy like storms and shit getting ready to happen. So
Yeah.
I mean, barometric pressure does affect you. So I think like depending on where you like, people move out west that can't like breathe good and shit for like a drier climate.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess that would make sense. I don't know.
They went through like all of his levels or whatever, and it kind of got to like cholesterol and something else, and I was like, well, I'm sure he didn't have McDonald's.
He
down
wasn't
there.
eating bullshit.
Yeah.
He wasn't eating like Western omelets every day or
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
you
I was
know?
like, I mean, I guess 3 months off of really anything super bad for
He's
you.
eating MREs
Yeah,
every day.
I, mean, I don't know what they were. I
For
don't know what they
3
were
months.
eating, but I can only imagine. I know it wasn't McDonald's. That's all.
Well, they probably had a kitchen. I mean, I'm sure, like, even like, of course, I don't know much about space because we've never been to the moon or nothing. But
Oh man, I got some stuff to talk about today that kind of contradicts the moon landing. Well, not contradicts. It contradicts the theory that the moon landing was fake.
well, let's hear about it.
Right now?
Yeah,
Okay.
why not?
Shit,
We're
boys.
talking about space. Put you on the
Space.
spot.
I did watch
on the
that Neil
spot.
Armstrong
Yeah,
video
that's
earlier.
that's what I'm
I took a
stabbing
nap.
at. Is the Neil Armstrong thing. So, at some point after Neil got back from going to the moon,
Yeah,
quote unquote.
quote unquote.
a lot of people he got on this thing of like had to just go do an expedition at this Ecuadorian jungle.
Mm.
He had heard that there was what they call the Golden Library down there.
Yeah.
It's a cave system that they mapped about 10 miles of it. And they said that it could go on for hundreds. That was
Damn.
all they were able to map or whatever on their little expedition.
Is it bigger than Mammoth Cave?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
Just based on what they said. I mean,
Right.
how big's Mammoth Cave
It's the biggest cave system in the world.
in the world? I thought
Yes.
it was the U.S.
In the world, as
Oh,
far as I
wow.
know, I think so.
I don't know. Maybe they said that they've only mapped 10 miles of this one, so maybe it's just not in the running because we don't really know exactly how big it is.
Right.
So they ran up on a lot of things. Like there was over 7,000 artifacts that includes like swords, shields, crowns, sculptures, plates, pottery, you name it. Like there was all kinds of stuff under there, and they went through like several. You know how Mammoth Cave's got that room where it just like opens up and it's huge, like
Yeah,
cathedral.
they call it
size,
something, yeah.
Yeah. They said that they went through like a lot of those just walking the cave. Like
That's
those were
crazy.
prevalent going through there. And then they, like I said, they finally found this one throne. Like they call it throne room. I'm pretty sure, but there's a skeleton sitting on top of a throne that they carbon dated, and it carbon dated back to 1500 BC.
Damn.
And
That's a long time ago.
that's older than King Tut.
Yeah.
That is older than the Siege of Troy. Like it's old. Like some of the oldest.
ancient
Yeah,
stuff.
like old stuff.
That's really
I think
cool.
it was at the tail end of the Bronze Era. I
Mm.
think is whenever it was, and
Right before the Silver Era.
I would guess. I don't know.
Ooh.
You're the history guy.
I don't know
Replacement.
nothing about that. You talking about U.S. military history is more my thing.
Um,
The rest of the world don't matter.
so like I said, this all kind of is bearing on like did they actually go to the moon? Did Neil actually see something up there? Because that was the other thing, that there was a doctor that was around him that said that he had like symptoms, or it seemed like he had PTSD. Obviously, they didn't have that back then, but it was like he saw something and
Yeah.
it shook him.
It scared him. Yeah, it fucked him up.
And so I guess that was one of his reasons for going to the jungle. He wanted answers.
And to get
maybe.
away, maybe, or seclusion, maybe.
Well, he went with like 2 or 3 other people.
That probably knew the area, like
Yeah.
that knew like archaeology and stuff.
There's a video on YouTube of it's talking to the person is actually interviewing one of the guy's daughters that went with him, and she was like, my dad wouldn't talk about it. I've been around Neil, and they never talked about it while they were around each other. Like, no, they won't mention whatever the rest of
Damn.
shit that happened down there. But the main thing was like he came back from the moon, and he was obviously like fucked up about it. Like he was already like a secluded person beforehand,
Like
and
a loner
and he
anyway.
became like
Way worse.
Yeah,
I feel that.
and he didn't talk. He didn't make any public statements for 30 years
Yeah.
or so after that he went to the moon.
Damn.
And then, man, what he said in that thing was pretty haunting. I'm gonna see if I can play that and see if I can make it make sense. But
Well, there's nothing like an explorer that doesn't want to talk about his expeditions.
Yeah.
Thank you, Neil. Thanks for your service, bud.
Thanks for your addition to humankind.
Yeah.
Thanks for nothing.
One step for mankind, my ass.
But one of the things
Keeping
that
your secrets.
one of the things that I thought was pretty interesting is I didn't know this. Is about the moon landing. There's after he does that, like one stalls for man, yada yada yada. There's like 2 minutes of audio that's just gone that we don't know what they said during that time.
Like a blackout, I guess. Like
yeah, I
more for
guess.
us. Like not for the people in the government, but for us, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's no. I think it's like they claim that it got lost.
No
like,
shit.
Yeah, they claim that it was deleted or etc. What was I trying to?
What
was
if
I
he's
going
seen
with that?
some wild shit up there?
Well, on one of the audio recordings for the moon, and I'd never heard this till today, and I had to look it up just to make sure this dang YouTube video wasn't lying to me because I was like, that's some crazy shit that I've never heard. But he's on recording while he's up there, and he says, and I quote, "They're on the edge of the crater and they're watching us." End quote.
What the fuck?
That's a real quote from him. Like I went pretty deep to make sure that they weren't fucking with me on this quote. Like,
That is kind of
if they are fucking with me, there was about 30 people and
they're
Wikipedia.
on the edge of the
and-
crater and they're looking at us.
yeah, they're watching us.
Oh,
And that's in that 2 minutes that's gone.
No, that was actually that's actually recorded. You can find
okay.
that. You can find that. Just the 2 minutes, we got no idea what they said during that 2 minutes.
Oh man, I gotta look that up after a while. I'll
I'll
post the link to this video on the YouTube page in the comments.
Yeah, I'm gonna find. Hold on, I'm gonna get to this.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I mean it's nonsense.
Is this it or is it an ad?
This is maybe it. I'm trying. I know it's at 9
Maybe
minutes.
it's Maybelline.
Yeah, I know it's at 9 minutes in this video, and I'm just trying to make sure this is the right video. 'Cause this is,
So we gotta worry about AI, and now I gotta have a fear about shit on the moon coming at us.
seems so. I mean,
Oh, they just knew. They knew we were
We ain't
headed
been
to
back
the moon.
since though. You think about that?
Yeah. Oh, except India, of course.
Well, they just landed. Some people didn't get on that one. They said we ain't send nobody else up there. We'll send monkeys
well,
and
that was-
dogs.
I think that's what they were saying is in that 2 minutes that was gone. It's like that's the reason we haven't been back is because they were actually warned to not come back, and we came back and said, "There's some
Don't
shit
go
up there.
back."
Don't go back."
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know where this is. For every time I've looked at this, the same video has been up top, and now that video's gone.
Oh,
they're shadow banning it.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Giving
I
you
really-
the chameleon over there.
I really feel like they did on this.
That's crazy.
Like I can't
We're looking for the answers, guys.
find out.
We'll find them.
That's so
We're in here.
wild.
We're in here asking the important questions.
That's
Okay,
right.
now they know.
That's right.
The IRS has something to do with this, I'm sure, because I haven't paid my
You think
taxes.
so?
You got till April 15th.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
word, I think they intended to kind of close him off.
But then, in 1994, at the White House, 20 years after his quest to find the ancient metal library, Armstrong gives a strangely worded speech.
we have only completed a beginning. We leave you much that is undone. There are great ideas undiscovered, breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers.
That's a very tantalizing quote.
That's such
What
a
is that
weird.
guy talking about?
That's such a weird sentence.
I don't even know what that
Like,
means.
It
was like-
means nothing at all.
It was like he wrote a haiku and just
Yeah.
said it.
It's not like he's a good politician, or he could have
Yeah.
been a good politician.
He's been coached on what to say,
Oh,
probably.
for sure.
the breeze is never blowing,
So
but
then,
it always
so
it's always there.
yeah, that's right. The wind, you see, you don't see it, but you can feel it.
Yeah.
It's out there.
Yeah.
Gravity now.
I'm like the wind. So then he come back and he went to the jungle to look for answers.
Yeah, well, so that 94 thing, that's after everything, obviously, because he was
Right.
an old man in 94. But yeah, so he came back, and then I don't know the timeline, like, exactly. I know all week I, like, research other things, and then on the day that we're recording, I find something cooler that I want to talk about, and I don't get to go as far deep as I really want to, but... So he came back and went to go find this golden library, metal library, whatever they call it.
Right. As much as I think, and we talk shit about aliens and how it'd be cool to see one, do you know how terrifying it would be?
Oh
though?
God, yeah, that would change.
Your
your
you'd
world
be
view?
like Neil Armstrong.
Yeah.
You'd, fuck this. I'm going to my cabin in the woods, and I'm,
Yeah.
I'm not getting out anymore. I'm not talking about it. They might be listening. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I'm sure he was scared to death. If something like
If
that
some-
would happen,
If something did happen to him, I mean,
it would be terrifying. We
shook
talk
him.
shit though, dude. Ain't nobody here gonna be like, "Oh, that's a cool alien." They're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
I mean, I'll probably be excited at first until they start blasting people.
But you like that one, like he said, like they're on the edge of the crater and they're
Well,
watching.
yeah, okay,
us.
so I take that. If I saw it on the news and like it was like there's like a little alien like shaking hands with like Biden or something,
Right.
I'd be like, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, but if it's like the dudes like off Prometheus, you ever seen the movie Prometheus?
Yeah.
And it's like these huge, like mongoloid looking things that like
Uh-huh.
are super smart. That can time. You can like travel through time and everything else. You're like,
That's the
well,
one where they talk to him through that glass or something.
no, that's
Contact or-
no, what is it called? The Arrival.
Okay,
But no,
okay.
Prometheus is.
I know I've seen both of them. I'm just getting them
Prometheus
mixed
is like a
up.
precursor to Alien. It's like we figure out like throughout like archaeology that like there's like these people like see like in the sky.
Yeah.
And it's like Orion's belt maybe or something. But like we figure out in the future how to get there, like wherever this place is. Well, we get in this huge like mountain, but inside it's like there's like tunnels and like this tomb pretty much. Well, it turns out that like that's where we come from in the movie. Like it has like human DNA, but they're like three times your
that's right,
size.
that's right,
And they're
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
jack, like perfect, like genetic specimens, and they're also super smart. Well, they think they're going to like welcome us, and they don't. They like, but they created like the alien animal or whatever it is, like that species
okay,
as a weapon to like kill like worlds. Like they were like going to try to take it to Earth, and that's like where the movie come from, like in that.
Gotcha,
So like
okay.
that's like some terrifying shit. Like
Yeah.
Predator, I think would be cool.
Mhm.
Because that dude, like, he just likes to kill. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'd have to be like after you. Like, he's not just killing whoever.
You don't think so?
No, they do it for sport. If you watch the movie, like, they're
It's
just
been
good.
so
Wouldn't it
long.
suck? Wouldn't it suck? This last Alien movie, he skipped over that girl because he didn't see her as a threat.
Right?
Wouldn't that suck if you were sitting there like ready to fight the alien and he was just like, nah.
Nah.
You're like, hey, buddy, I am a threat.
Yeah.
Damn
Come back
it.
here.
They're gonna
Yeah.
look at me and
Get
be
back
like,
here, you
"Ah."
son of a
I'm
bitch.
scary. Okay.
He'd have his like eyes like fucking dialing on my
Yeah.
fake leg and be like, doo 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 doo, and
Those-
those three triangles shoot at me and just blow me up.
I think every week you've mentioned a movie that I've definitely seen, but it's been so long since I've seen
I
it.
watch
I'm
a lot
like,
of old movies.
I was gonna say I'm gonna have to start watching old movies just to keep up with you.
There's not any good new ones out right now, so
Man, I
I'm
don't
just
know. I
been going
watched a
back.
couple. I watched Thanksgiving.
We watched that
recently
Sunday night.
with
It was
Tim
all
Dillon.
right.
Tim Dillon had a small.
He was in
cameo.
it more than what I
Oh,
thought he was
did he?
going to be. Yeah, he's in it for 30 or 45 minutes.
Yeah, he's in a pretty good.
Yeah,
amount,
it's
Does he
funny.
die?
Well, I don't want to ruin it.
I don't want to ruin it.
Watch it. It's good. It's on Netflix.
It's on
It's
Netflix.
don't watch it with the kids. It's a straight slasher film.
Is he a?
I had to rent it.
Is he a good
I
actor?
didn't even wait till it comes
Like,
on Netflix.
Is he a good film actor?
He's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought he did fine.
That's how he used to do it when he was a kid. He was a child actor for a while, and then his voice dropped, and it sounds like he smoked cigarettes for 30 years.
Yeah,
so
he's hilarious.
apparently, he was a cute kid.
Yeah.
That's what he says about himself.
Yeah, I can see that probably. He has that hairdo and shit
Yeah,
like that.
apparently his parents or mom and dad like pushed him into the child acting stuff or
Hmm.
whatever. Yeah.
Some people want
Now
him.
he's just a smart. Now he got a big old smart ass out of the deal, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Some people want
Well-
him to be the new host of the Daily Show. That would be wild.
Oh, it'd be good.
Golly.
Insane.
It would be insane.
I don't
I want
think
him
he
to
would-
run for office
He,
somewhere.
he made a he was on it for like 3 or 4 weeks. Every week he'd be like, "Let me host the Daily Show." And he was, somebody tell the Daily Show to get in contact with me.
He cracks me up. He's a little too controversial to be on
Yeah.
Comedy Central at
Yeah,
9
he
o'clock.
probably says
He's very articulate though, so I mean he could definitely do it.
Yeah.
I mean, and he can come up with
He-
shit quick.
He's a gay man and he loves saying the FAGGOT word quite a bit. I don't know if he leashed himself.
Did he really get married? Or
Tim
was
Dillon?
that? Yeah, I thought he just posted a thing and said like I got married. That whole gay thing was just a phase. Like RFK Jr. was like, "What a beautiful angel!
Yeah, I saw
Congratulations
that,
on her
right, yeah.
ungaying you
Yeah,
or
I
whatever."
can see why. I can see how she could ungay you.
Ungay you.
Yeah, I forgot that he
That's
did
so
that.
funny.
But yeah, no, he's definitely gay.
Either way,
Either way,
cool guy, very cool guy.
Very cool guy.
Yeah,
Cool guy.
very
Cool guy. Cool guy club.
Cool guy club.
CGC.
CGC. I just can't believe Neil Armstrong didn't kill them aliens while he was up there.
You know, funny enough, we were talking. What were we talking about last week? The happy ending thing.
Yeah.
I saw like a news story on Twitter, like right before I left to come up here, and it was a guy that went to a massage place, and he like left because they were trying to give him a handy, and he called and reported him. What a
See?
buzzkill!
What a
Yeah.
buzzkill.
See, that's
Can't
what
have
happens. Those masseuses, they get greedy.
Yep.
They think that everybody wants a hand job.
Think everybody wants
until
a
it's
dick
too
pulled.
late.
Yeah. Yep.
They said rub no tug, rub no tug.
Yeah, I didn't even read that whole thing. I was just like, why would you do this? Just move on.
How have I not seen this guy that set himself on fire until you
Oh, I
until
know.
y'all post
I
until
didn't
y'all sent it
see
to
it.
me?
I didn't know.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. I
Oh,
hadn't watched
wow.
it. Of course, our TV broke, so I hadn't been watching any news or nothing.
I don't watch it.
He's
I don't
protesting-
watch the news on TV, but
The Israel
It was in front of the Israeli embassy.
Yeah, Israeli embassy.
He's
and-
alive still, isn't he?
No, he's dead.
Oh, did he die?
Yeah.
They took him to the hospital.
To
I
the
know.
hospital, and he died pretty quickly.
Yeah.
From what I understand, because they were not quick with putting him out.
No.
I'll be out. I mean, he was out there burning for a while, like
It don't
just
take
in
long.
broad
It can't
daylight,
take long.
and I don't know how long it was. It was like 2 or 3 minutes in the video, and like somebody finally shows up with a fire extinguisher and
sure it
puts him
takes
out.
a minute.
Secret Service is the one that put him out.
Oh, really?
That's what they said. It was Secret Service that put
Well,
him
then
out.
the Israeli security guard has a gun on him like the whole time. It's like this dude's on fire. Why
Yeah.
Jeez, dude.
Stay
He's not going
right
to do
there.
nothing. Sir, drop to your knees.
Get on your
Roll
stomach.
and roll.
Pussies
Stop,
on the
drop,
pavement.
and roll.
Prepare to get fucked by the long dick of the law.
Yeah, I mean, he
Man.
did it in protest. Oh, fuck. That's an advertisement, sorry.
No, wow.
But yeah, apparently they checked his socials, and like all of his socials said like I'm about to do something drastic, but it's for the greater good.
They didn't know how drastic it was going to be.
Yeah, the whole time like he was burning, he was like screaming "Free Palestine," and right before he lit himself on fire, he just said, "I'm not going to be complicit to genocide anymore." And then he was talking about like Israel and
He was an
us.
Air Force guy, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. He's talking about Israel and us like committing genocide. And
You know, I'm not seeing as much of
Palestine.
that on the news anymore. The Israeli-Palestine thing or the Ukraine-Russia war. You know, other than
Yeah.
when they ask for money, you know, they'll put that up there. You know, they'll have a vote on sending $60 billion more
I don't know,
dollars
what about
over there.
Hawaii too?
Yeah, we ain't heard nothing about it ever since The Rock and Oprah went over there.
There's
and
one
said-
dude on Twitter that really rides like he's Nick Sorter. He's a journalist of some sort.
Yeah.
I think independent, and all the time he'll like tag The Rock and Oprah Winfrey because they did that commercial where they were like,
Yeah.
give us
raising
money or
yeah.
whatever, and like he all the time will just tag them in something and be like, hey, how's Hawaii doing? Just checking in.
Checking in. Just giving a heads up, seeing how the restoration progress is going.
Not
Are-
well.
Are y'all staying over there to make sure things get done?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they probably will in their mansions that didn't burn down.
Dude, they're over The Rock. I'm sure somewhere filming a movie somewhere.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Who knows what Oprah
With
does
Kevin
these
Hart.
days.
He's with Kevin Hart somewhere hanging out.
He's probably somewhere. Yeah, Oprah's doing God knows what.
Probably
Drinking blood,
getting
drinking
Illuminati together.
Yeah, drinking that adrenochrome and whatnot.
Man, remember when? Do you think that shit's real? You think people
I
really
don't know,
do that?
man.
It got pretty wild there during the pandemic. People had a lot of time at home to sit around and make
Yeah,
shit up, you know.
yeah.
So, I started believing a little bit of shit for a little while. I was like, God, remember like the whole shit with like Wayfair? Remember that
Yeah,
stuff? I was like,
Yeah,
that was
that was
fucking
wild.
weird though.
what the fuck?
I
dude?
looked that up myself, and I
Yeah.
was like, "What? Why are these things $500,000 or whatever?"
Yeah,
they were.
got a
like,
kid in them. You know, you
Yeah.
get
Trevor,
Yeah.
the wardrobe.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
an
right. It did-
armoire
it did-
named Noah.
Yeah, it did even have like names on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was IKEA, but it wasn't. You
That
know
was
what I'm
wild.
saying? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now Kelly
I mean,
Clarkson's doing commercials for him.
I don't, especially because of Epstein. We know at least that they had that island that they were doing weird stuff on. Like, we know that's a fact at this point. So we at least know that they're fucking minors out here.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know about the blood thing being real and whatnot, but I mean, more you kind of look at some stuff, you're like, man, there's some weird satanic shit potentially
Dude,
going
and
on.
rich people, dude, they have nothing else to do. You know what I mean?
I don't say you get to the point where you're like, I don't have anything else.
I've got 6 Lambos and 4 Ferraris and
Yeah.
9 houses and whatever. So
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
they're
or
always
not.
they're
It's
just like us. They're just chasing fucking dopamine too. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I don't see that. I mean, that's probably why a lot of rich people let couples don't work out is because they get
Probably
you know
they get bored.
either that or the ones that have made it this long. You're like, hey, we're probably going.
Speaking of, Kevin
cheat on
Bacon's
each
married to his cousin. You see that?
other. No.
He's been married to this woman for like 25, 30 years. They got kids and everything. And come to find out, she's his cousin.
What cousin though? How far?
I didn't look into that, but it's been one of those like,
They do. That's why you can't do one of those 23andMe's.
yep.
Yeah.
You don't never know what's going to happen. But yeah, it's his cousin.
Man, if it's second or third.
They say that you can marry your third cousin. They said
think you can
first and
marry your
second.
second.
It's but having kids might be a little bit of a risk. They could come out looking like Nick.
Talking about 23andMe, funny enough, there's a Netflix documentary. I don't remember what it's called, but about a doctor that worked at a fertility clinic or whatever,
Yeah,
and he like
using his own
used
semen.
his own
I've
stuff
seen
for
that.
like and he's got like 300 something kids.
kids.
Yeah, that might be
True story.
It's hundreds. I don't know if 300's accurate.
It's
or
a
not.
it's a lot.
it's a big number.
It's a lot
though.
of felonies.
Yeah, yeah.
for sure,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
I mean,
even think he ended up being like a real doctor.
What drives someone to do that? Do you think he just
fucking-
thinks that he has superior genetics and he's like,
It's
I
his
have
legacy is what he says, because I think Christy watched it. It's like he wanted to like make sure he had like a lasting legacy. So that's one way that he could make sure he did it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
like Genghis Khan?
That's some narcissistic shit right there, though. You know.
Yeah, Genghis didn't really do it for that reason, I don't guess.
No, he was just
kinda-
conquering the world, but
Yeah,
he wasn't
just-
doing it that way either. He
he's
was
one of
doing it
them-
the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, true.
horn dog,
Yeah.
baby.
Golly, boy.
We'll get this
They
pipe
used
in.
to, back in the day, though, they, of course, like in a warrior society before, I mean, even before the Civil War, like that recent, like people would just have as many kids as they could to hope they had sons, right?
Yeah, well, that and they had their kids died.
Right.
Early-
Or they would
early
go to
on, or-
war. I mean, they fought. I mean,
Yeah.
or, whatever. So, they would say if you have, if you lost one son, if you were able to have more, then they really didn't worry about it. They would
Yeah.
just have more sons. Or, if their wife was too old, they would just get a new wife or whatever. Hey, man, help yourself.
Golly, boy.
Dude's
Over-
been sick for 2 days. You
Yeah,
might want to
for real.
sanitize that.
Yeah, no,
Yikes.
I watched that when it first came out,
Yeah.
whatever it's called. You can look it up, people.
Yeah, you'll
Figure it
find
out.
it.
You can
got
figure it out.
Figure it out,
Just
people.
Type in 300 loads.
Yeah,
It'll be-
300 loads
Golly.
dropped off.
The 300 load, dumping loads everywhere. That's some
Carpet
crazy
bomb.
shit. Carpet bomb. What's that thing I sent the other day? Was a Montana musket loader or something?
Oh, no, I've got it saved. I don't even want to
It's
think.
what you do is you're pounding a girl from the back and you take some Copenhagen out of your lip and you
That's
put it
right.
in her butthole and you ram it in with your dick. That's called a Montana musket loader or something.
That's nasty.
It's pretty gross. Man, you're going to get a little bit of everything with this podcast.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else, but yeah. What do you? I mean, going on that AT&T thing, I don't think I would like to dive in that. What do you think actually happened?
I
there?
think that it's hackers for sure, and I think that Either that, or we did it on purpose to see what kind of security we need. I think it probably
Could have
more
been
of
that,
that,
too, yeah.
and just to see like the fail safes and shit, just to see how easy it would be for somebody else to do it, and
Yeah.
maybe they can bulk up their security. Because I think that's probably what happened.
I was going to say,
They
I
picked
s-
a weird morning, like it was like
Yeah.
weird hours where people weren't really got a lot going on. It's
Yeah.
in the middle of winter, a lot of people ain't doing shit.
yeah.
So
I'll say it's funny. All across the country, they said that almost every mobile provider, just in different areas, had
we're out.
problems.
It was spotty,
Yeah,
but
it was-
AT&T was the biggest, I think.
AT&T was because I have my work phone's Verizon, and it never
Mhm.
it never dropped there.
But we have Verizon internet, and we didn't have any trouble at all.
Yeah.
So, but they said some people were having trouble with their internet, AT&T, like Uverse
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah. So,
AT&T is probably the biggest carrier in the country, aren't they?
I'm sure. Yeah.
Like overall, like in infrastructure and like businesses. Like I know, like there's a lot of companies that use AT&T for like
it
their.
would definitely be AT&T and Verizon, like neck and neck. you'd
Yeah,
think.
T-Mobile.
What were
Mobile's
they
not up
back
there.
in the day? Bell South.
It was Southern Bell the first, then it was
Singular.
Bell Atlantic, and then it was Bell South, then it was Singular. Now it's AT&T.
Yeah.
Because my grandfather worked for Southern Bell. He's the one that built all the fiber up and down the interstate and stuff all to the south. Whenever the same fiber we're using now, they put in the ground in the 70s and 80s, like that far ahead.
Dang.
Yep.
How did they already have that?
They had it, obviously it was probably a government contract, because they, my aunt and uncle, my dad and my aunt, they of course were like kids then, so they lived all through the South, like Louisiana,
Yeah.
northern Florida, Oak Ridge, Tennessee, like all through there, and they just built fiber, and it runs all up and down the interstate. It's like right beside the interstate.
That's what my ex-father-in-law does. Is lay fiber all over the.
They say if you hit that shit by the interstate, like the shit they put in, it's $1 million an hour to fix.
Good God.
Because it cuts out so much shit. So, like, you think about, like, if somebody were to know where that was at, and they were like, say, hey, we could put a bomb here or whatever, we could at least knock out a big section of it until
Yeah.
they fix the actual hardwired shit. It's one thing to knock out, like, shit like Wi-Fi or whatever, but when you go in and start getting infrastructure, then it's a real big deal to fix.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I was gonna say this country really is like put together with bubble gum and.
well, it's old. I mean,
Yeah.
I think, like, 75% of our bridges have been like deemed unsafe since like the 70s. So I mean, and we're not fixing them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not
we ain't got no.
doing
We're
absolutely nothing about it.
$13 trillion in debt. We were talking about money earlier being fake, like just being that far in debt. you're
30
like,
trillion.
Oh, was it 30? I thought it
30,
was
yeah.
13.
It was like 20 at like the start of the pandemic, and then they kept borrowing money and
From
printing
where?
money.
Who are they buying? Borrowing?
Us, the taxpayer, future generations
Oh,
is what
true.
they're doing.
That's fair.
That's why we're so fucked now. Like our parents and grandparents, they didn't have the damn debt we have because there wasn't there wasn't as much money printed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then we started printing all this money. Over the years, it really started about 2002 or 3,
Gotcha.
and printing all that money. And now our kids and our grandkids we're just borrowing money from them. Is what we're doing
For nothing.
for nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually it's got to come to a point to where it hits the ceiling and then shit crashes. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm expecting the housing market to crash. I'm
People have been
surprised
talking shit about that for 2 years, and
Yeah.
it ain't slowed down a bit, has it?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
People are still building houses. I
Yeah.
mean, I think materials went down, so you know more about that. It has like costs of like materials and stuff went
Oh, yeah.
down.
I saw new apartments like townhouses in Plano. I don't know if we were talking about this.
Oh, they're
recently.
popping up everywhere.
$1,200 a month.
Oh, yeah.
In Plano.
It's $1,000 here for a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
For
And
for an old one. I mean,
I think that was 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And like there was so many people on there like $1,200. That's way too much. I was like, I guarantee you somebody's gonna buy it.
dude,
I
somebody's going to
guarantee you.
do
They're
it.
just
Yeah.
gonna have to, and you figure it out.
Or people that work in Nashville or whatever, it's close. So, like, they're right there by the interstate.
Yeah.
They can't maybe afford to live in White House or, one of those places.
Yeah.
So, Plano's a nice community. You know what I mean? And they're making good ass money in Nashville, and it's a 40-minute commute. I mean,
I wouldn't say good.
well, it's,
It's probably there's just more things to do down there.
Yeah.
because there's just not. There's
depends on
not-
what you do.
I was gonna say there's really not enough jobs in Bowling Green to probably
No.
even support Bowling Green residents.
Well, Nashville's grown like so fast too. Like,
Oh, man.
and pretty much, unless you're, from what I'm seeing, unless you're in the entertainment industry, there's not a lot of jobs.
Yeah, no,
It's
that's
went that way, like public relations or hospitality,
Yeah.
service industry jobs, or entertainment. Everybody's moving their fucking podcast down there or whatever. Barstool opened up a headquarters in Nashville.
that was a while back, wasn't it?
Yeah, a couple years ago, like Busting with the Boys is down there. They're based out of Nashville. Who else? Theo Vaughn. His podcast is out of Nashville.
He lives there. I think he does his from his house.
Yeah, I think
believe.
so.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of them. Nate Bargatze, Nate Wynn
Yeah.
podcast.
I mean, he's from there. It
Yeah.
makes sense for him to just be there.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what it is.
it's,
I mean,
the,
they
it's the
even
new
talked
Austin, Texas.
What?
It's kind of like the
New Austin?
Yeah, like
We need
the
more comedy clubs down there. If
Man.
we're gonna start calling it Austin.
Austin's full of comedy.
We got Zanies.
That's it.
That's
Well, there's
it.
Third Coast Comedy Club, but I think it's only open a few nights a week.
Yeah, that. I mean, there's some places like bars and stuff that host open mics, or
Right,
whatever,
but not like a club.
It's not a club though. It's
Yeah.
not really what it's meant for. And
You're going there and having a talk over people banging classes together.
Well, yeah,
and
that's. I mean, I know, especially like up and coming comedians do that. Like,
Yeah,
they
oh,
go
yeah.
to any open
Mexican
mic you-
restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean,
You go to
yeah,
any
yeah.
open mic you can, but man,
Pizza
that would
Hut.
suck to be at one of those and like you're in front of a bunch of people that really weren't expecting to see comedy. Most
Jukebox
likely.
is playing or
Yeah.
something, you know, yeah.
that would
And you're
suck.
just begging, like you're just trying to get 4 people to look at you. You know what I
That's
mean?
another thing too. With me as a enjoyer, I'm not going to go to any of those open mics.
Because you can't get nothing out of it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I'm going to be like the one of like 5 people, and the rest of the other 4 are all friends with the people.
Yeah. Or they got
That
their
are
back to
performing.
you eating the whole time you're trying to perform. Like
Yeah.
that shit sucks.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never done it. I would like to try it at some
Just
point.
go up there and slang your jokes and don't care. You know, that's all
Yeah.
you gotta do.
Probably have to have a couple of shots.
Put you a
shot
leather
skis.
jacket on. Put
Put
your
what?
big leather jacket on like Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah.
Like that guy on Kill Tony last night.
Yeah.
Jeez, dude. Did you watch it last
No.
night? Oh my gosh,
That guy
dude,
was a
that dude
character.
that was
I,
on
don't- I
there.
did not understand him either, and he ended up being. He had a crazy name too.
Yeah, he was like Greek or some shit.
Was that what
something
it was?
weird.
I didn't ever hear
It was a
what they said.
long name, like
Yeah.
a lot of syllables.
Yeah.
Longer than my last name even.
I was expecting the guy to be like from
New
the
York
South
or New York, like
Yeah.
New Jersey area.
Yeah.
He looked like a damn
True,
character
yeah,
out of
yeah,
like
yeah.
Guys and Dolls.
He kind of, whenever I first saw him, I was like, this guy's somebody from the cut that is like trying to be Elvis or something.
Yeah, he had
I-
it. Like he was naturally funny, just walking out, looking at it. But then he was like, "Oh, the lights." Oh, He
Yeah.
couldn't even get nothing out.
Yeah,
and they tore
yeah.
his ass up.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They tore his
They
ass
do,
up.
baby.
They tore his ass up.
I can't wait to go home and watch this Shane Gillis episode of SNL.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good, man.
It was good.
It was good.
I bet, and I've actually saw other people say this, that Limu Emu,
Yeah, it got cut.
it got cut.
For
and That's
time.
probably one of the funniest
It's the
ones.
funniest one. I thought it was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Uh-huh.
Like he's like a bad guy or whatever. He's like it like fucking frames a damn murder and
No,
shit.
the emu does.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah, the
he's like,
emu
come
does."
on, man.
Come on, man. Wait in the car.
Liberty, liberty, liberty.
Liberty bibbity.
Smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. How'd you know this guy had a stash?
It was probably the best SNL I've seen in a while.
I haven't. We probably said this last week.
I don't
but
watch 'em,
I
though.
haven't watched it.
I
in
watched
a
Nate
long time.
Bargatze's episode a little while
I didn't.
back
I'd like to. I need to go back and
with
watch
the
it.
Foo Fighters. That was a good one. He done like some historical bits, like where he's like Benjamin Franklin or some stuff. I can't remember exactly who
He
he
was
plays.
George Washington.
George Washington.
And he was talking about like coming up with the measuring system and stuff. America's how we measure things against the rest of the country, miles and yards and
Yeah, like the
kilometers.
US yeah, we don't use the
How
metric.
crazy is that? We still don't use the metric system.
They tried back in the 80s.
Yeah, we
Oh,
just
really?
don't- Yeah.
They tried to switch, and then everybody was like, "Yeah."
Well, a
this ain't
lot of
gonna work.
factories that are foreign, they still use the metric system, like
even-
German factories.
I
and
obviously
stuff.
don't know what any of those numbers mean, but it was
You don't
it's
know
supposed to
grams?
be easy. Or
You can't break down grams to ounces.
no,
No. Well,
wouldn't even attempt to do that.
I got you. I got you.
I'm not weighing a whole lot of stuff here lately.
Yeah, now I was gonna say I weighed
3.5
myself-
grams is eighth of an ounce. 7 grams is a quarter ounce.
Oh, okay. damn
14
it.
grams is a
Yes.
half ounce.
Okay,
28 grams is an ounce.
I did know this.
15, 30, 37.
Yeah, damn it. It's been a long time since I've bought the green stuff in ounces though. So
Just all the metric.
Say,
I wonder why. I guess because of scales. I guess that's why it's broke down to metric stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Christy.
Well, that it's like 100 degrees Celsius is boiling, which just makes the most sense.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
Zero
0
is
is freezing.
freezing. Yeah.
Yeah. Just easy peasy, man.
easy peasy.
And
Lemon
I don't even know
squeezy.
what boiling temperature is.
212 Fahrenheit.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I remember numbers. I can't tell you nothing about hardly anything else in the world, but I can remember just wild shit.
Yeah, I was for some reason like at work, like I have a bunch
Nick's
of
cell phone number is 77.
at work. I have a bunch of claims that I do. Obviously, and I do like 5 or 6 a day. And like my boss will call me to ask about one, and I can always remember the name. It's like, you talking about Stacy Clark? And he's like, I can't. He was like, I don't do names like you do.
That's probably
names."
good for your job though. Like that's it's good to have a good working memory.
Yeah.
Like, especially
Yeah,
like
he
what you
always
do.
gets on. He gets mad at me. I think. I was like, well, how do you not just know this, Bob? I'm like, come on, man. Stacy Clark, find that claim.
We went to.
Is that a real person?
No.
Okay.
No, I just it's
Okay.
not. I just put
Let me
two
cut
words
that out.
together.
after the play last weekend, we went to Brickyard and eat,
Yeah.
and the guy across the table from us, from me and Wes, the next night he was like, "Does your buddy do drugs?" I said, "No, not really." He said, "Dude, his legs were shaking
He's
because
just a-
it just reminded me
he's
because
just
he
a hyper
was shaking the
person,
hell out
yeah.
of him over here."
Like, yeah, he does
He's
a
like,
lot
"Dude,
of them.
his legs were shaking so much." He said,
We went to Brickyard that night, Nate, too. We just missed you by about 4 hours.
Yeah, no, I'm just fidgety, man.
Yeah, y'all both are. Y'all
Like
both.
it's hard for me to sit still. Like especially sit still and like try to talk for an hour straight or whatever. It's like I'm like I gotta do. Like
You'd
I
be
said,
like
I
Casey
said
Rocket
last
on
time,
stage.
like whenever we're I said last week when we were on while we're doing the Zoom thing, I'm like a third base coach.
Oh,
like
yeah, dude.
Dusty
You're
Slade.
everywhere. Touching your face. Grabbing
dog,
stuff. Yeah.
itching something, grabbing a drink, smoke, etc.
Either way.
Pets and animals have found an interest in me here lately.
Okay.
My mom's cat never socializes with anybody. Josh's cat the other day came up and was
Oh,
sniffing
yeah.
me.
She's getting more
My
lovey.
cat came up sniffing me. My mom's
That's good.
cat. It's weird.
Maybe they know you need some loving.
Oh, maybe they can smell my biological clock ticking.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah.
They're like, this
Give you
guy's
some
got,
comfort on your way out.
Yeah.
This guy's got cancer and he don't know it yet.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Dude smells sick.
It's actually just because Nick hasn't showered in 3 months.
Yeah.
They say that a cat will eat you, like if like you like pass away at your house, like after a while, like a dog will wait most of the time longer than a cat will, but a cat will just eat
A
your
dog
fucking
will
ass.
wait until they just
Starve
have no
and-
other option
right.
left, and that's like months down the road usually. Like
But
they'll
it-
find something to
to
eat.
eat on. Yeah,
But a cat will go at you even if there's still food in the bowl.
you know what they
I
eat
was gonna
first.
say, I think where I listened to that at, I think they said it was like 7. You got a ticking clock of about 72 hours, and that cat's gonna start gnawing on you.
And they eat your nose first.
Yeah.
They eat your nose,
Mhm.
then your ears. Then if you got to hang down, you hang down probably. Whatever they can get to easiest, I guess.
Hang
That's
down.
a penis.
Oh, okay.
Y'all don't hang down, I don't guess.
Now it kind of sets up.
I've just never called it that.
It just like is sitting on a
Sits
damn.
on my sack.
It's like sitting on like one of those old bean
Motherfucker in this
bags.
phone.
It's like sitting on a bean bag.
I've got it on Do Not Disturb, but
How did that still come
I have
through?
no idea.
Manuel?
Y'all want to wrap this one up?
I suppose so. It's been a good
It's been a
week.
good one. It's been a good episode. We thank y'all listening.
Hope y'all
like,
have a
share,
good
subscribe.
Watching.
Thursday or whatever day you're listening to this.
Yeah, it'll be Thursday.
We
whatever
love you
day it
guys.
is. Y'all have a
Okay.
good one. This has
Love
been
y'all.
fine by me.
Fine by me. Dum, 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 dum.